Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgie, and this is Surrilium. I've just realised their first album was called Sir William. Sir William. Never mind. Surrilium. And they have an album called Ayla, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is a song called The Bed in the Sky. It's Friday, probably, when I put this out. And how about let's go prog? Let's have a bit of a relax. It's Friday. We can relax our way into the weekend. And I don't do enough prog, basically. This is 9 minutes long because it's prog. I mean, let's face it. Some bands that's the intro. So I can't. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Any of it? Why am I doing this? No. Why am I doing this song? I had an email from Albert Mamstow, except I didn't. I actually, this is just going to get more and more confusing as we go along. I had an email from Albert Mamstow, but that's not your name, is it, Albert? Your name is Albert Ibrahima? Ibrahime? Aj? Sorry, perhaps I should have stuck with Mamstow. At least I can say that. So I'm not entirely sure where the Mamstow bit comes from, but I met Albert a couple of years ago when they were touring with Cellar Darling, and he was in a band called Appearance of Nothing, who I have featured on this channel, Appearance of Nothing, because we saw Appearance of Nothing, Paz and I, supporting Cellar Darling, and they were so good I was compelled to do one of their songs, and they were very opeth. And basically he's got another project, which is this one. See, it's kind of making sense in the end. This Surrilium project, I haven't heard this. What I've done is I've skipped through the song a bit to see what kind of a song it was, and we're definitely in progland. So yeah, so thanks for your email, Albert. Nice to hear from you again. Glad to see you're still chocking stuff out. As far as I'm aware, Appearance of Nothing is still a band, and so I assume Albert is still in that band. But here's another project of his, Surrilium. They have a second album, Ayla. Here's a song from it called The Bed in the Sky. See, I got there eventually. It's just, oh, there isn't a video, by the way. I'm basically doing this because Albert asked me to. I haven't really heard it. I'm sure it'd be great.
Keeps me warm, yet no comfort I require. My springy mattress holds me firm, still rest I don't desire. Tucked away from mill and fray, so far away from life, flying with the birds of prey. Inside dwells the strife. Heed my cry, you mortal souls, and take me, for this lorn eternity will break me. See me, feel me. Looking round my room, there's only wretched memories. lost and trusting whatever there may be. Curious, I've always been, and stories are for me. All those words and tales that are so different from my own. I lose myself for just one breath. Don't feel like flesh and bone. The thirst is overcoming me. I'll never know enough, and I will comprehend it all. I do not care how tough. There is, however, riddles that I can't demystify. Words can give you reasons, but they do not tell you to whom may read those home-blessed words. Stay praying bright and strong. Reach for what you can't achieve. You know where you belong.
Oh, that ended suddenly. That's prog albums for you, straight out of one song and into the next. Caught me out that one. I was away with it. Straight into the next 10-minute 30 song. Oops. I love this artwork, by the way, before we get onto anything else. I was just staring at it on my big screen here and just like, wow, it's great. It's like it's just artwork you can just keep staring at. And I like the Surrilium emblem. Emblem? What's the word I'm looking for? Surrilium logo in the keyring. I think it's just such a great touch, even though it's right there, front and center, staring you in the face. It was kind of a minute, and then I suddenly went, oh yeah, you know. Anyway, that's not important right now. So, to be any good at music, you've got to love what you do. And I think that's the reason that bands go off the boil, or musicians go off the boil, because years down the line, if they're successful, they kind of stop loving what they do and it turns into a job. Yeah? Whereas I think if you love what you do, you're almost you're working in service to the end product kind of thing. And I always think when I listen to prog music that's kind of goes doubly. You've got to love what you do, and on top of that, you've got to be patient, because not because prog songs are long, but because you've got to love what you do so much that you are willing to let the song breathe for a while, let it build up, let it go where it needs to go, before perhaps you come in with the big built up rock bit, you know? So if you imagine the guy who wrote this, he almost certainly wants to play his guitar, you know? Albert's probably there going, oh yeah, I've got some really good widdly bits I can play here. But no, what he did was he held back in service to the song and let it build up of its own accord, let it go where it needed to go. And then the payoff is better. That doesn't mean that I don't think songs where everyone crashes in on the first chord are a bad thing. Absolutely not. But they are not this kind of song. This kind of song requires somebody to have that self-restraint. And I could almost hear it as it's playing. I'm also a sucker for a clear voice like this. I can just listen to it for ages. So I realise some people out there go, yeah, it's a bit boring because you're death metal fans, or you're, or maybe even prog metal fans, and you want lots of widdly guitars. But prog rock is a different animal, and it requires some patience, and it requires it to be any good. For it to be any good, it requires it to be intelligent, I think. And this comes across as intelligent music. I think it's a very lovingly crafted thing. So there's a whole album. I haven't heard it. I'm quite interested in hearing it now. And I don't expect it to go off into super widdly land. I don't expect lots of massive solos, because the other thing about prog is sometimes they get the singing out of the way. It's like, there you go, there's 1 minute of singing, that's done. Now let's whittle on our guitars for 10 minutes and show everyone how incredibly clever we are, which I love too. And let's not pretend that I don't. Whereas this is a 9-minute song with a heck of a lot of words in it, and it just flows along really well. It is a well-crafted song. It does move through its various parts and keeps. And I was also thinking when I was listening to this, I wonder if when you listen to the album there are themes here, because some of those musical passages sounded thematic, and I wonder whether, because this is early on in the album. Let me check. This is like track. You might hear something in a second if I don't pause it. There we go. Yeah, this is basically the first track is an instrumental, and then it's this, and then there are another 5, I think, songs after this, 4 songs. So I wonder if some of those musical passages are thematic and will come back later in the album. It has that feel to it of something that is a thing, from end to end. The whole album is a thing from end to end. Very prog thing to do, of course. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I could just relax and chill out to this and just have it as a nice thing to listen to that sort of feels like it's had some love put into it, some care. As I say, you've got to love what you do to produce this kind of music. I'll probably find out Albert hates his job and wishes he'd never took up music in the first place, and find out I'm totally wrong. But that's how it feels to me. So, good job, Albert. Sounds great. I'm quite interested in hearing the rest of it. Let me know what you think, everybody, if you made it this far. I know we don't have a lot of prog fans. At least I don't think we have a lot of prog fans on the channel. I would like to play more prog. They're just difficult songs to do. They don't tend to have videos. and they tend to be really, really long. Anyway, let me know what you think, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.